Hey folks, good afternoon. Should be morning, but obviously I'm working, so didn't get the chance to get on this morning. So today I want to talk about what I was going to talk about on Friday, and that was due to a conversation I had with a couple of members actually in the 6 a.m. group, and we were talking about basically men, 40-year-old men being lazy bastards and never really doing what we know we can do. And one of the things that came up was the lies that us men, Michael is going with, us men can tell ourselves very easily. Now, I'm sure women are involved in this as well, but I talk to men more often because I can talk to them the way I want to talk to them without offending or less risk of offending. But we're talking about the excuse that guys seem to make that you play a game of golf a week or you go and play a game of five-a-side, and somehow that constitutes your training. You're able to train now, and you can tell other people that you are keeping fit and you're taking action towards changing your current physical shape. When the reality is, you've got moobs, a beer belly, and you've no muscle mass, you've no mobility. You're waking up every morning in pain. Those joints are sore, and this lie you're telling yourself is the only thing it's doing is keeping you further in this hole of denial and pain. Because when you get to your 40s, the reality is you're not 20 years old anymore. You haven't got the level of testosterone that you once had, even though you may believe it. You struggle to recover from injuries a lot hard more. Training hard, high intensity all the time is not probably the best option for you. And it's going to take, if you the harder you push yourself, the harder you have to recover. So we tend to go into the gym, we try hard, we realize our own feelings, and then we revert back to that old story. Well, at least I'm doing five-a-side. Oh, I'm playing a game of golf. Listen, you play a game of golf in your 40s, you tell the wife, listen, you tell your wife you're going out for a pint. Not going to happen. On Saturday at 11 o'clock, I'm waiting for the boys to drink. You're going to get laughed at. Tell the wife you're going for a game of golf. That's not a problem. And invariably, what happens after a game of golf? You go to 19th hole, you go to the bar, you spend next 4 or 5 hours getting blocked with your mates. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Guys, we all need to socialize and have fun with our mates. But when you're telling yourself you're training, your golf is your training, and you're walking, you're proudly showing your pedometer that says you've walked 20,000 steps that day, but you've went into the clubhouse and you've drank 7, 8 pints, had a bit of a laugh with the boys, you can't really turn around and say that that game of golf was a training session. And you look in the mirror and you know it's a lie yourself. Everyone knows that when you're telling me you're playing a game of golf, but your belly's hanging up over your balls, everyone knows you're lying. And this is the problem we have. We can lie to ourselves and we can tell this lie so often and so many times that we convince ourselves it's actually true. And then when you're found out because you come to the gym once or twice and you realize, shit, you've dropped so far off the point where you thought you were, that it becomes an embarrassment and it becomes like a chain around your neck. And it's the same for football. I see so many guys telling me they play five-a-side football regularly, but they're nets. Or they go out for like 10 minutes, 2, 3 minutes even, but blowing out their hole, get back in the nets, or the fake injury, or they actually do get injured. And the reality is, your body is getting injured because you haven't looked after it. Sean, how's it going, mate? Your body hasn't been looked after. You've refused to look after your body for so many years that what do you expect when you play five-a-side with your mates? I'm telling you, I don't care what age you are, you think you're fucking Ronaldo, and you're going to get on like that, and then you're going to put yourself at the point where you're going to get injured. And then when you get injured, that's another excuse not to fucking do what you want to do, or what you should be doing, sorry. And the thing is, for most guys, it really is not that hard to make the change to themselves of what they require to improve their lives. And this is what I keep on trying to put into your heads and get you to understand. When you're 40, 45, 50, you do not need to look like a front cover Men magazine model. That's not going to improve your life in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it's probably going to take away from it because the level of sacrifice, the level of commitment required to get to that shape is so much greater than the benefit you're going to get from it that it's going to make you feel miserable. It's going to make your wife and your kids miserable because you're going to be going about grumpy, lacking calories, depriving yourself of your pizza, your beers, your social life. That when you get that photograph, you're going to feel deflated. You're going to go, yeah, it's amazing, but you're going to rebound. And I've seen it so many times. The majority of guys that do those photo shoots end up rebounding and ended up looking worse than they did when they started off. And if you just understood that if you lift heavyish weights 3 times a week, if you walk every day, and walking 10, 15,000 steps a day is not that big a deal, and you work on some mobility movements and eat sensibly, you're an adult, you know how to eat. We all know how to eat. It's not like it's rocket science to know that we eat vegetables more than we eat Mars bars. If you do that consistently, you're going to make it change your life. And listen, I've got a catalog of evidence that this method works when you do the work. Because I've had Primal for over 5.5 years now, and the evidence is there. The members have some have rebounded, of course, because they drop off the wagon, they come back. But those who stay at it consistently feel better in their everyday lives. Now, we don't really focus on the photo shoot image. We try to encourage guys to take simple steps. They're going to allow them to feel healthier, move better, feel better about themselves, but still enjoy what life they expect a 40-year-old should have. When you're in your 40s, 50s, most of you are going to be married. You're going to have stressful jobs. You're going to be probably lacking sleep. You're probably going to move as much. You're probably sitting and vegetating in front of the camera, in front of the TV more often than you should. And there's always excuses why you shouldn't do what you're doing. Now, for example, for me, we all know my hip problem. I'm not going to go on about it again, but I walk a dog twice a day. Some days I will walk further than others, depending on how I feel and how my hips feel that day. But I always make sure that I get at least 10,000 steps in from my walks. The dog gets out twice a day. I get out twice a day. It's given me a focus. So I know that if I finish the gym, I go for the walk, come back, do my work. When I finish gym again tonight, I'll bring a dog another walk. It's not that hard to do. It's maybe 40 minutes out of my day, 1 hour and 20 out of my day or something like that. And that's it. Do training 3 times a week, lift a bit of weights, keep the reps low, keep the weight medium, just enough that I can feel what's happening, and I slowly progress that. That's all you need. You're not training for the Olympics. You're not training for a sport anymore. You might play a bit of football or GAA or something at the weekends, but it's usually a very low level. And if you can keep yourself at any level of fitness, chances are you're going to be fitter than 90% of those boys in the team. You want to play golf, you want to improve your game, do a couple of kettlebell swings and a few Turkish get-ups, and you're going to see your sports improve. Dave, how's it going, mate? Haven't seen in a long time. And this is the problem that the guys don't seem to fall into. We're all egotistical, and I keep saying this, but guys keep on seeming to fall in the same trap. The reality is, when you look on Instagram, you look on Facebook, you're seeing all these young fit men doing what they do. That's going to make you feel pretty shit when you try to do that and you realize you can't. But that's because you're comparing yourself to someone else, someone who is in a different stage that you're at, someone at a different level of fitness, a level of testosterone, level of recovery, endurance. Everything in your 20s is going to be better than most people in their 40s, especially when we come to the untrained, unfit type of guys. So stop comparing yourself to the young bucks in the gym, the young guys and girls on Instagram and Facebook. That doesn't matter to you. What matters is, can you play with the kids? Can you get out of bed and not creak and groan? Can you move about on a daily basis and do everyday tasks without undue fatigue? If you can do that, then you're winning. And if you can take your top off and not be embarrassed with the image that looks back at you and the reflection looks back at you, well, that's a result. If you can take your top off on holiday and your kids aren't embarrassed by the shape of you, happy days. If you can take your top off and get a few glances from younger people of the opposite sex, even better. But the reality is, you're probably married, you've got kids, and all that shit doesn't really matter anymore. It's just exists up here, your own ego and your own head, and that's what's keeping you in this continuous battle of wanting to change your life and wanting to get on the straight and narrow, but also doing the thing that's wrong for your goal, and it's only making you feel worse about yourself and putting you off training. So you've got to maybe step back, be honest with yourself. Where are you currently? Where do you want to get to? And then plot the plan or plot the graph that's going to get you to that point. Now, for a lot of guys, these are experts in their fields. These aren't experts in training. And you've got this block of actually reaching out and getting out, getting someone who actually is an expert in their field. Hey, how you doing? That's me. And the thing is, I know how to get you there. And if you go to the gym, you can pretty much guarantee what you're going to do is you're going to go onto the treadmill, 10, 15 minutes on that. Maybe sit down on one of those seated resistance machines, do a wee bit of chest press, bit of lat pull down. Go and do them wrong completely. You're going to do a few leg extensions. You're going to avoid the free weights area like the plague, because that's where the young bucks all hang about and they're lifting weights you just can't fathom lifting. So you're going to avoid doing that, even though they're the ones you probably want to do. And if you understood how to do them properly and you had the right guidance and correct the techniques, you would be able to do them safely and properly for years to come. But you won't, because your ego is preventing you doing it. And the story you're telling yourself, I'm not going to pay that. I can do it myself. I can't afford that. Whatever you tell yourself is the reason why you're not doing it. And the reality is, if you did commit to that, you would feel better about yourself. You'd probably be more productive in your workplace. You'd have a better relationship with the wife. You'd have more time for the kids, and everything you're looking to achieve would probably be easier to achieve yourself right now, but you won't do it because of the bullshit story you're telling yourself. So, lads, it's up to you. We've got a 4-week trial in Primal. If you want to give it a go, by all means, click the link below, or it's in the bio with your Instagram, and it's £77 for 4 weeks. 77 quid for up to 20 coach training sessions. That's going to get you on the path you need to be to achieve the goals you want. So that's a quick one today, lads. I'm going to talk more about this type of training tomorrow or the next day. So I will see you then, and have a good day.